No, it didn't bother me at all. Okay, so Holmesy was, as I said, and he was our mate as well. He used to come down to the river. We lived on the Cooks River and fish at the river, didn't he? And he'd bring his special kit. Johnny had a milk crate with everything in it for fishing, even a seat he'd made that folded into the crate. He's had little tins for his bait and everything, and stands for his rod that's stuck in the ground. You stick your rod in, all in this crate. Then you turn the crate over. That's your seat to sit on, isn't it? By the river. And he's all set up with his gear, which would take him about half an hour. He'd fish for about 10 minutes. Righto, we're going now, John. Clough said righto, because he, Holmesy had to keep moving, didn't he, Kath? Keep moving all the time. We lost Holmesy. How long ago we lose Holmesy? 4 years, yeah. He's a lovely bloke. And Johnny lost so many great friends. Of course, he bloody lived so long. Now, he was an inventor. People might not know that. Johnny was in an inventing group in Sydney, the official inventions group. I found all this paperwork when we were cleaning up. He pretty much invented, he told me, the Ziplocs, the sliding Ziploc plastic bag. Him and these guys invented it. They got an American guy to come out, check out all the drawings and said, yep, that looks good, it might work. We'll back in touch. Never saw him again. Years later, he invented a power saw guide for guiding your saw when you're cutting, which sounded like a really good thing. And same thing, American company, Esco, I think they were called, came out, yep, give us your drawings, that looks great, sign here, and we'll put money into this for sure. Never heard of him again. So, ripped off. Now, this question is an interesting one. When did he discover Phil Oakes? Anyone got any idea?
No.
Martin might know. Martin's not here? Okay.
He's up the back here. Do you know Martin?
Do you know when he found Phil?
No.
He was in Newcastle at a folk festival, he told me, festival, and someone gave him a tape of Phil Oakes songs. No one ever heard of him in Australia. And they gave this tape to Johnny, and he had a portable cassette player. And on the way home on the train, he played it non-stop, annoyed the shit out of everybody on the train. Stop playing that guy that no one knows. Anyway, that's where Phil started, and that's how it is. Well, I marched to the Battle of New Orleans. I was there at the early British wars. I must have killed 1,000 men, and now they want me back again. But I ain't marching anymore. Someone will probably sing that later. Okay, so we're still in the vague years for me.
When weren't you vague?
Oh, good one. Yeah. Like it, nice. What about in the back? Rightio, so we'll go to, winding it up I think, we'll go to, Johnny's getting really sick. Johnny's getting sick. And battling everything. Pacemaker put in, valve put in his heart, knee replacements, bucket shoulders, you know, he was a hard worker. And he said to me the only thing that really got him in the end was his sight. He could handle everything else, the pain of arthritis, whatever, but his sight was too much. Once he couldn't see, it was too hard. And as I said, let us talk with Joe and Barbara. So then Johnny had a bad turn with his emphysema. As I said, he didn't have asbestosis, but he did have pretty much every other disease that a man can get, including emphysema, which is very tough. And he had to go into hospital. We just lined up the nursing home. I don't know if I've already said this, but didn't want to go. Have I said this about the nursing home? No. Tell you again, didn't want to go in the nursing home. He said, no way, I'm not going in. Then he was convinced by Joe and us. Then he had to go to hospital because he couldn't breathe. And he lasted about 2 weeks in hospital, lecturing the nurses the whole time about this shit government. You know, they're not the Liberals, but they're shit. and you guys should be looked after better. He had one nurse for 4 people in the geriatrics ward. So hard for them, but they're beautiful, genius workers. Johnny was abusing one of the nurses when he was getting a bit delirious with his painkillers and so on. I said to her afterwards, sorry, but they said, oh, used to that, you know, don't take it on board. Most people don't care when Johnny abuses them, do they? So, there could be 9 million more stories, but we won't go into more, I don't think, at the moment. So, the day before Johnny died, Joe, Norbert, me, Juanita, and Jimmy Donnelly, I mentioned before he came in to say goodbye to John. And I tried to sing a folk song to Johnny, but I couldn't get anywhere near it. But Joe, who's a technological genius, had a thing called a mobile phone. And he played songs of it. I couldn't believe it. The songs of Phil Oakes came out of a mobile phone, right at Johnny's ear like that. It was beautiful. Yeah. So mobile phones are good. Maybe I was wrong.
Have you got that on video?
Oh shit! No, that was a joke. You know, they're really shit. I'm never going to get one ever. Hang on, I'm nearly finished. Was it some? They're winding me up. Good. To finish, Johnny had struggled a lot in the last few months, but he was very peaceful when he went. He was asleep for about 12, 14 hours or something. And I think Joe and Norbert were last to see him. And we all wished him well. And I said goodbye for all my family to Johnny. And other friends that couldn't get there. Okay, I think that's it for me at the moment.